Hi, this is Jody Shirami at Astropod_cast. How's everyone doing? Welcome to my weekly astrology report. This is August 22nd, and I'm filming this on the 21st. So, we know what's getting ready to happen tomorrow or Saturday, right? On August 23rd, it's going to be at 2:06 a.m. Eastern Time. The Virgo New Moon will shift in with the Sun at 0 degrees and 22 minutes. And that's when they meet up, and there is a new moon because the moon is dark because it is behind the Sun. So it is a dark moon and is a new moon. It's a harvest type of new moon because we're heading into Virgo season, and Virgo represents the harvest. The daily work we do every day is what Virgo rules over. Our everyday schedules, our everyday chores, how we live every day, what we eat, because it also rules our intestines. So how do we eat? What is it that we eat? And also it is a exalted here, Mercury, because again, Mercury also rules Gemini, where it was for a while. And so now, as it heads into Virgo, it is a mutable earth sign. It's not an air sign like Gemini, and this is why Mercury is such a special planet, because it has the ability to rule an air sign, our thoughts, our speech, our communication, but now an earthly sign of Virgo, where we can handle our ideas that we have been working on, thinking about, learning about during the Gemini season, to bring it down to practical means on Earth. So Mercury is the only planet again that can go into the underworld and come back up. It goes behind the Sun and the Cazimis. And this is just the nature of Mercury, the quickest planet around, and it's named after Hermes, the god, had wings on his feet. This is a very rare configuration. The fact that they're coming in together at 0 degrees of Virgo at the beginning of Virgo season, basically minutes after it happens, after the Sun comes into Virgo to make it Virgo season, the moon quickly comes in after, not much longer. This is such a very rare occasion when the moon and the Sun come together into a sign at the same time. The moon and the Sun are our biggest personal planets. It is our sovereignty, the Sun, who we are inside, what we do, who we are. We do it all for our Sun, and that rules over our body. And then the moon, it rules over our emotional health, the way we feel, the way we communicate how we feel, what it is we need to feel safe. Because again, the moon's ruled by the crab, and the crab has a shell to protect itself, and that is a Cancer sign. The other main thing about this Virgo season that's going to be booked in by 2 new moons. I mean, this is the first one, and the second one is going to also be in Virgo on the very last day of Virgo season, which will be September 21st. So it's going to come in at the beginning of Virgo, new moon, the end of Virgo, new moon. The middle of that is an eclipse, a full Pisces moon eclipse. So Virgo season is packed with the South and North Node involved. As again, the North Node's in Pisces and the South Node is in Virgo. So this is a karmic time as we head into the South Node, where we must release things. And what is it that we would release here is that Virgos can be critical because they do love information. They're very good with it. And they are exalted here, Mercury, in terms of communicating and making their thoughts and their energy match. And so here you can stay efficient. But again, the new Virgo moon is going to bring in karmic aspects with the outer planets that are in the configuration of the Kite. So here we go. Ooh, so what does this mean exactly? The moon is our emotions. So the new moon is asking us, especially in Virgo, to release things that no longer serve us, no longer make us happy, no matter what's going on. Maybe you've tried it for a while and you just said, well, this is the time, or else the universe will release it for you. And this is how it goes, is that's what karmic energy really is that they make the decision for you. You get the option right now to make the decision, but again, if you want to think it over a little bit longer, that's fine, because the outer planets are retrograde. And starting September 9th, Saturn will be moving back into Pisces, and then Neptune will be moving back on October 22nd. And I believe Pluto does not move anymore. And Uranus will also be moving back, I believe, in December into Taurus again. So, what? So here we go. The Sun will also be making a lot of aspects here as it shifts through Virgo. And one of the most important things is that it's going to meet up with the South Node. And so it's the new moon doesn't come in and make everything cozy, according to Rick Levine. It makes everything difficult. It's kind of like we don't really have a chance to adjust to the sun coming in Virgo, where the moon comes in and says, "Hey, I'm here. Let's do this. Let's fix our, our health. Let's eat better. And that's all great." But a lot of times that would shock the system, because we're used to being in Leo, where we're like performing or relaxing, being lazy, hanging out with the kids, doing kid things, and playing games, a lot of, Xboxing and all that stuff going on during Leo season, and then school starts, right? So now with school starting, we're trying to wake up from that lazy time. And so I know my sophomore son has come home and napped at least twice in the afternoons during the first week of school, which was last week. It's really a time now, and this is why school season starts now, because this is the time of the harvest. And so the days are getting shorter. We're starting to get our sunset at around 8 instead of 8:22, which is what today is on Friday. And so we really have to, again, realize that in Aries, at 0 degrees, is Saturn and Neptune. And Aries is a fire cardinal sign. And Mercury, that's ruling over this new moon, is in Leo. And Mercury is awake this week, back at 15 degrees of Mercury, where it went retrograde. So now we'll be moving into new territory, because we've been going over this territory. We went over it, then we went back there again after we got to 15, went all the way back to 4, and now we're going to go from 4 to 15 again, degrees of Leo. And again, the 15th degree of Leo is a world access point. This is the point of fame, especially as a Leo fixed sign. This is the point of fame. So this week, a lot of things could be happening. Someone could become famous instantly because Uranus is in Gemini. And Gemini, again, is about duality and seeing a different side of yourself, acting. They call it two-faced, but it's not really a two-faced. It's more like you can show another side of yourself, whereas most people can't do that unless they're in private in their house, and they can show that side when their moon is more relaxed. But Gemini, no matter what, can feel comfortable out in the real world also. Usually depends on, again, other aspects that they have. And it's my midhaven, and I know since I was younger I would talk all the time, and I didn't really know that I was talking all the time. I just was. And then now I have my youngest, who's a Gemini, and he's probably the first child that I've said to, could you stop talking so I can listen to the TV? And that's what I used to have my parents say to me. If you listen, and they'll answer the questions you have if you listen. And it still happens now, even to this day, with my own family. They'll say, "Mom, we can't hear." So it's not such a terrible time. It's just that we are at that point of no return, because Mercury's moving forward, and that's our minds, our thoughts, and we are going over these spots again. The Sun is also going to have a quincunx with Saturn at 4:04 p.m. Eastern. And also in the early morning on Saturday at 3:57 a.m., the moon will be squaring Uranus and having a half square to Venus. And this is, again, emotions. The moon moves quickly, so these emotions won't last long. But in terms of everything else, we're dealing with the outer planets, so understand that this whole week will be like that everywhere. Any planet shifts, the personal planets, as soon as they shift, they will be having an angle with these major players. Aquarius still is hosting Pluto at 2 degrees, I believe, right now. And then Uranus is in Gemini at about 2 degrees. So every time a planet enters a new sign, as the new moon and the sun does, it has all these aspects opposing everything. Again, these outer planets are being like a beacon for us, like a lighthouse, saying, everything's fine, we're still here supporting you, don't worry. So every time we have these aspects, it's supposed to give us a sense of security, especially with Saturn. And then with Neptune, we're supposed to feel, I can feel the spiritual energy. I can start to nurture my empathy, my kindness, instead of deluding myself that things aren't the way they are. Let the powers that be run the country. We don't have to get involved. But that's delusional, because you have to get involved in a democracy. You have to vote, and you have to be educated and understand what's being said. And again, that takes studying, that takes listening to the news. And, the news right now is just kind of bullcrap, because the media is owned by the billionaires that support Trump. So that's why we live in now a plutocracy, as Rick Levine would say, with Pluto and Aquarius ruling over the people is plutocracy, which means the dark side is ruling over us. The powers that be, Darth Vader and his master, these are the people in charge right now. And there's not a mistake that all these books and all these things are written by writers, because writing comes from a intuitive picture in your mind of something that's happening, flash in. And if you can hone in on that, then you can do some great stuff with literature and help the world to progress. And that's why it's very important to have a library, a Smithsonian Institute that is truthful in its historical artifacts that it has in the museum. And it's really a national treasure, and to go in there and mess around with it, if you're not an academic that is not one-sided, that's why you have more than one academic usually running those situations, so they can balance it out. And again, the key to everything is balance, as we're going to learn this month in Virgo season, as we're going to juggle the South Node and the North Node. And the North Node, again, is Pisces. And Pisces rules the deep ocean. And Virgo rules service. And they both are similar, even though they're opposites. One's very pragmatic and thinks a lot before it moves. And Neptune is on instinct of what they want to do. It's instinctual. They listen to that. If they are advanced, they will be listening to their intuition more than their mind, which the Virgo mind does. So it is a little bit of a balance, but they both are the same in that they both want to serve you and help you and heal you, be your therapist, be your podcaster, be your spirit guide. These are the things that make Virgos and Pisces happy. So what are we going to release here as this moon heads towards node, which I will talk about next week, because the moon moves so quickly. It will be in the North Node. And again, when it does meet the node, it's going to be a sense of releasing criticism of yourself, releasing negativity, through that criticism that you would use. Now we don't want to do that. We don't want to be judgmental. We don't want to be overly fixated on things that no longer serve us. So we're getting a chance to release that energy. So if you want to release something, now is the time. Don't wait too long, because things are moving along so quick that by the time you want to go do something, as Molly McCord says, it'll be too late. The energy would have moved on, because that's how quick things are. The quality of time is the Autobahn in Germany, where you can go as fast as you want. There is no speed limit. So you can go as fast as you want, go as slow as you want, move into the next lane, but you must be moving. You must be doing something. And that's what Virgo's coming in to say, is every day you must be working on something. It is your daily chores that Virgo rules over. It is like going to school, going to college. Every day you have something you have to do. You have a purpose. And that is what's coming in. And it's going to be a shock to the system with this Leo Sun moving out and Mercury being here all this time. And so the other thing that's happening this week, so I will be going through this quickly, but I will write all the details down in my summary below my podcast that I put out. But I'm going to go through this quickly because there's so many aspects that it can get confusing if you're not understanding the chart properly. And I didn't understand the chart for a while, so I know I would have been confused. So basically all through the week is that the sun and the moon will be aspecting these outer planets in the Kite formation. So this is the Kite formation, a simplified version of it without the Uranus connecting to Saturn and Neptune and Aries from Gemini. This chart is from Rick Levine's podcast for the month of August. And it really is complicated, as you can see how the sun is there and the moon is going to start shifting around. And as it does, it will meet all those planets I will be speaking about now. And it just gets very confusing as the week goes on to look at it. So this is how I've interpreted it. They are now involved in the Kite formation in terms of all of their conjunctions that they're going to be having along the way. And the moon will be meeting up with Mars in Libra this week. And again, Libra is about balance, and Mars feels a little odd here, being undecided like a Libra would be. What do we want to eat? What do you want to eat, you know? And Libra's they just like everything because they're ruled by Venus. And it's an air sign of Venus, and it's a cardinal sign. So if you ask Libra to do something that is decisive, they can do that. But if you ask them to make a decision, they may not do it. So a lot of times Libras can lean into their Aries opposite and get a lot of things done, especially when they've been hurt or something. They really don't take well to that. Even though they're all soft and sweet, you'll see them turn and say, can't do that. And so Saturday and Sunday, again, it's all these aspects, you know, quincunxes, squares, opposites. And we've been going through this for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks since Leo season started, as the sun shift through all these spots, especially when it was opposing Pluto. So we're really going to have a week that's very uncomfortable with this new Virgo season. It's coming in such a way that it's like being on a roller coaster, the old-fashioned ones, you know, that they used to have, like at Coney Island or the Great Flags, a Six Flags that I've ridden, or in Disney World where it's rickety and you're sitting there, it's just a bar on you and you're rickety. You're not going upside down, but you're going, you know, around curves and you're like sliding back and forth. There's still seat belts. This was the old days. And so that's what I feel this week is like, is a very huge roller coaster ride that we have to hold on tight, because we don't have a seatbelt like we're used to, especially strapped across our chest. And have to scream as much as you can to get out that energy you might be having of fear. And really, when I say scream, I mean exercise, meditate, garden, things that will get your energy out, because it's going to be in a square, shaking around. So you need to get that energy out before it combusts and explodes, because Pluto is involved here. So if Pluto explodes, then, you've lost your mind, or you've lost what you're looking to do, right? You're not looking to explode. What else is going on? Also, Venus on the 25th shifts into Leo. And as you know, Pluto is opposite of that, Aquarius, at about 2 to 0 degrees. So again, anything comes into Leo is going to be opposing Pluto. So now Venus is coming in fresh out of Cancer, and having met up with Jupiter. Cancer's very happy, but now she's heading into Leo, and in Leo, she's going to want to be seen. She's going to want to be a star, because Leos are superstars. That's what they want to be, right? And a lot of the times, most of the big superstars we know are Leos. And so here Venus wants that, because she's in the limelight now. So she wants to dress good. She wants to look good. So against Pluto, what's going on there is that the masses will also be drawn to the star, Venus, but the masses will want to know more about you, dig deep into you, or past, or whatever. So here we have that situation with Uranus and Gemini, where certain things could come out, certain creations could be highlighted, certain movies could be coming out at 15 degrees as Mercury's there. It could be something incredible, because now Venus and Mercury are together in Leo. So now we have our thoughts, our actions, which is Virgo season. And then now we have Venus, where Mars is in Libra, rules over that. So Leo will be ruling over all these other things, like Mars is in Libra, and the moon and the sun are in Leo. The moon shifts out of here a little bit in the middle of the week and goes into Libra. And again, like I said, the moon's going to meet up with Mars in Libra. And that's when we're going to have some emotional actions that could be outrageous or could be good. It can go either way. It just depends on who's activating that Mars. And by the time we get to next week on the 29th, we would have gone through this roller coaster ride every single day. Because again, the moon's going to go to Libra, then to Scorpio, and then to Sagittarius. And then we end the week around Sagittarius, Capricorn moon. But the big deal is that there is a new development in the Helios area of our world, which is the sun. The sun's magnetic field has been compromised because there is a I-3 Atlas object, looks like a comet, is coming through our solar system. And by October 1st, according to Stefan Burns, the geophysicist I've talked about, by October 1st, he studied it, and he said that by then is when it will be going by Mars, which will be in Libra for a while. For a little bit longer, through this week anyways. But this would be October 1st when it happens. So Mars might then be in Pluto, Scorpio's, where it rules with Pluto. So by that time, it could be very combustible with with that planet Mars being in his home sign. So Pam Gregory has said a couple times on some of her shows is that we will be having contact with aliens or extraterrestrial life forces in the coming future. And I didn't think it would be this close, but this is the only third comet to have come into our magnetic field that we're in with the sun. The sun draws us, and we're in the tail of the sun as the sun's going towards the black hole, spinning. It's spinning out here, and we're back here being pulled into the tail end of the sun's magnetic area. So that cosmic asteroid or comet is going to be coming through. So, we weren't already. So now I'm thinking we're not on a regular old-fashioned roller coaster anymore, because now we've advanced our technology to such a situation now with this comet coming in, or asteroid. It's more like the roller coaster in Disney World, Space Mountain. And I remember riding that for the first time when I'd come to America. I think I was about 9 or 10. And I wasn't afraid. I wanted to go on it. And so I went on it, and it was scary in terms of you can't see when the turns and the dips are coming. It never goes upside down. It's just still like a regular old-fashioned roller coaster, but it's inside. And back then, you didn't have the anything but a bar also across. That was back in the 70s, and I just fell in love with it. And so that's what's getting ready to happen with this asteroid coming in. It's like, what is going on? So I might be a little scatterbrained today because I'm doing this early on Thursday, because tomorrow is my son's birthday. I was born in Thailand, so I am behind the day of when I was born, because actually my birthday will be this evening, because I was born in the morning. In Thailand, it will be tonight for me. So I'm a little bit ahead of my birthday Sunday. But I think I've spoken about this before. Asians, Thai people anyways, we use our moon birthday as our birthday that we go by, because Asians are more moon-based culture in terms of we use our emotions to connect with each other, empathy, and things like that. But a lot of the Asians that grew up here use their sun birthdays, and so there's a lot more forward-thinking Asians now, especially with the military bases in South Korea and in Japan, Okinawa. There are none in Thailand. After the war, they left. Thailand doesn't have any foreign entities in their area to have bases or anything like that. And it's very exciting. And so this podcast is a little bit scatterbrained, because I was doing it today, researching all week, and today I got it all together. Tomorrow I'm going to edit and put it up for you guys. And I think I want to start doing it on Thursdays, because then I have more time to edit. And last time, if there's any computer glitches, all these storms, I mean, I couldn't get it out till 2 o'clock that one Friday. Not to say you guys mind or anything, but I kind of want to be more professional, with my work. So the last thing, so there is a silver lining. On the 28th, Venus is now in Leo and is having a square to Pluto, which isn't a good thing. But it's going to be kind of a quiet, tense day until later on. Uranus trines Pluto, Neptune sextiles Pluto and Uranus, all at 0 degrees. And this sextile from the outer planets, again, is giving us that support we want. Our our stability we need, to know that they're there for us, and we need help. Lean into what they're saying, lean into what they are about. And what are they about? Pluto and Aquarius, becoming a society that is fair and balanced for all. Like a sports team is ruled by Aquarius, right? And then Uranus in Gemini is about the higher octave of Mercury. Again, Mercury rules over Gemini. So we're asking Gemini and the collective to use this energy of Gemini to to raise your level of communicating higher, and to watch what you say in terms of things that aren't necessary to talk about. And you can see in the world how that has become kind of a bad thing on social media. And you know what I mean. And so then we head to Friday the 29th, and it's a good day to relax. We have a little bit of respite here. The planets are kind of not doing much after that moon squares Pluto. So we have a little bit of time to rest, and I'll be back next Friday on the 29th, and we will talk about heading into September 1st, and that is when Saturn shifts back into Pisces at 29 degrees. So here we go, because after that, again, Neptune's going to shift back also October 22nd. And this is going to really cause a lot of what's the word? You know, when someone puts their fingers on the chalkboard, goes, it's going to cause a lot of that. All of the outer planets themselves are getting along, and they're sextiling and trining each other, and they're supporting each other, which would be Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, and Aquarius. They're all supporting each other in that little trine they have going on at the top of the kite at the apex, right? But now we have the moon, but now we have the sun in Virgo, and it's headed towards the node. So now we have a kite formation that is shifting, and it's not always going to stay a kite formation. Now it's going to turn into obstacles that we have to overcome, because we've been dealing with this kite formation for about 2 weeks, and we're going to deal with it a little bit more next week. So we're going to have to overcome a bunch of things on our own that it's been trying to teach us through all these trines, quincunxes, squares, sextile, right? And it's going to go on and on, basically, until February. So what we're looking for now in our horoscopes, basically, is how do they affect your personal planet? And if you need to know anything like that, give me a shout out. I would love to read your chart and help you. Also, just remember that there's a huge hurricane out there right now. There's 2 more forming. Just remember to really pay attention to the weather, because again, the astrology does affect the weather. Every time Neptune is being tapped, there will be rain, and a lot of rain. Now as Neptune's heading back into his home sign of Pisces, we could really be bracing for a lot of flooding, a lot of rain, and you already see that happening. Let's hope that the hurricanes stay out in the Atlantic and never come on land, because even not coming on land, they're still causing a lot of flooding and wear and tear, erosion. So that the quality of time is going to get quicker, and we're going to go over the same degrees we've been over. So really be mindful of your actions and your words, because we've been here before, but in a new situation now, right? So we're getting a chance here. We had rehearsal. Now we're getting ready to prepare. Now we're going to dress rehearsal again, and maybe we're going to work out some kinks, change some things until February. And we debut when they start to station direct and have their conjunction on February 20th. And this year's Valentine's Day is going to be very passionately lit up also. So, all right, so that's it for this week. Sorry if it was a little mumbled jumbled. I will be here next week on the 29th, and I appreciate all of you for being here and for watching and liking and subscribing. But if you haven't, please give me a like and a subscription because I would love it if I could build up my people. All right, thank you, and I will be here next week. Mwah. Thank you, appreciate you, and lots of love, my spiritual children. And go sign up and volunteer at Sundance. All right, thank you. Bye. Mwah.